Hey guys, Ripple has reportedly spent over $200 million on its legal battle against the US Securities and Exchange Commission. And overnight, we had news that the SEC has secured a partial victory, sending the XRP cryptocurrency and the crypto markets wild. So, let's catch up on what's happened and why this court ruling is such a win for the cryptocurrency space, regardless of your personal views and opinions of XRP. We're just going to come at this from more of an objective standpoint, I suppose, but feel free to battle it out in the comments. I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on this. My name is Jordan. Dear Crypto is our brand, and we're all here to understand what really goes on in the crypto space. You guys are what makes our community the most inclusive place to explore Web3. So before we talk about crypto, or the crypto markets rather, and XRP's win against the SEC, hit the like button and subscribe to be a part of Dear Crypto and support the channel. And with that, let's get into it. So before we jump in, I'm going to move myself actually. Before we jump in, Ripple is in the business of money remittances, or money sent from one person to another. Remittances are a really fantastic use case for blockchain technology because right now, with the current financial infrastructure, it can take too long and it's too much work to send, or not too much work, but it's a lot of work to send money from a financial institution in one country to another. So Ripple technology makes these cross-border transactions more efficient than ever before. That's their sort of promise, I suppose, and provides the liquidity in the XRP cryptocurrency to make this happen. Mainly, businesses and financial institutions can access XRP to avoid pre-funding nostro accounts, which are accounts that you would set up in another country with liquidity ready to go in the currency denomination of that country. So Ripple says, out with these old tired ways of cross-border payments, we're going to make it cheaper and faster for people to send money between different markets and economies all around the world. So the SEC originally targeted the XRP cryptocurrency in 2020 when they alleged XRP should be classified as a security. So a quick background, Ripple Labs was founded in 2012 as OpenCoin, later changed its name to XRP. And at the time, there were fewer cryptocurrencies around, and XRP really shone as this new solution for cross-border remittances. Now, the problem and the reason why the SEC was attracted to Ripple in the first place and wanted to slap the label of security on XRP is because XRP raised $1.4 billion in its initial coin offering, right? So that's a lot of money. Initial coin offerings are much like public, IPOs or initial public offerings. Before a company goes onto the stock exchange, typically a group of wealthy people, private investors, institutional investors are given access to pre-funding rounds. And in the world of initial coin offerings, that's not the case. Businesses like Ripple Technology will open the funding round to retail investors. So it gives the average investor the opportunity to buy into a pre-sale and to profit and benefit from the upside of that cryptocurrency's success or demise, whatever way the price of the cryptocurrency goes. So then in 2020, the US Securities and Exchange Commission alleged that Ripple, the blockchain developer and the creator of XRP cryptocurrency token, they raised a lot of money in this initial coin offering. And so they said, this XRP should be an unregistered security. So Ripple, relying on the previous comments of the SEC director to support its case, argued that XRP should not be treated as a security. And taking some information from what I can see online, the timing of this lawsuit was horrendous because 2020, as we know, was just right before the crypto markets experienced an enormous period of really intense growth. And XRP missed out on a lot of that because of this lawsuit, and it was difficult to trade XRP on exchanges like Coinbase, which actually delisted XRP cryptocurrency altogether. So just recently now, on July 13th, 2023, the court has found that XRP, an XRP cryptocurrency, was not a security when sold to the public, but it is an unregistered securities offering when sold to institutional investors. So it's a partial win for XRP and for Ripple. And we're going to go through this article here today, this one by Forbes. XRP Coinbase surge as investors take favorable view of Ripple ruling. So let's go through this and see what they've had to say. I'm just going to move myself and make myself a little bit smaller so we can actually see the article here. So Ripple Labs Inc. won what looks like partial victory in the suit against it by the Securities and Exchange Commission, sending cryptocurrency prices sharply higher as Judge Annalisa Torres ruled that some cryptocurrency transactions do not count as securities sales. Although the district court decision is not binding elsewhere, it does indicate the SEC's insistence that most digital assets are securities and should be registered, which is impossible to do under current regulation and can be successfully challenged. The problem I have with the SEC trying to regulate crypto assets as securities, same as a lot of other people in this space, is that, you know, these regulatory rules were created just after the great, I think it was the Wall Street crash in the early 1900s, in the early part of the 1900s. So cryptocurrency assets were not even thought of, they were not even around at that time, and yet the SEC is trying to take the regulation that was created from that event and apply it to cryptocurrencies, which arguably have, you know, a variety of different uses compared to, I suppose, traditional securities and assets that are regulated under, you know, the SEC. So I will also note that the SEC hasn't targeted Ethereum and Bitcoin. As you'll notice, they consider them sufficiently decentralized, but they do go after a group of, you know, other cryptocurrencies with high enough value. So their sort of uneven application of regulation is, you know, questionable, of course, and, you know, businesses like Coinbase, Binance are taking the SEC to task on that. So moving on, this has implications for other actions undertaken by the agency against crypto exchanges and other intermediaries. The SEC sued Ripple in December 2020, alleging that the company's sales of $1.3 billion, thought it was $1.3 billion of digital asset XRP since 2013 constituted an unregistered securities offering. Now, the SEC also alleged that, I believe, Coinbase at the time hadn't registered, you know, their intention to file or to host the trading of a security. So they wanted to argue that essentially XRP cryptocurrency is a security. And the easiest way, I guess, for them to do that would be under what's called the Howey test. The Howey test is basically if you invest your money into an asset and you expect a profit in return, then it should be considered as a security. But the XRP token actually has broader use than just generating profits for investors. It can be used to, like we said, facilitate cross-border transactions. It can be used to pay people, you know, in salaries. It can be used for a whole range of things. So there's not just a neat definition of XRP, and this is why it's so important that we create new regulation or some form of new regulation for cryptocurrencies so that that regulation accounts for the broad use of cryptocurrencies like XRP. In a summary judgment, the court determined that $757.6 million of XRP that Ripple sold in pragmatic sales to retail buyers The court also ruled that the use of XRP as payment for employee wages and other services did not meet the criteria of an investment contract, i.e., a security. So there's a quote here: whereas the institutional buyers reasonably expected that Ripple would use the capital it received from its sales to improve the XRP ecosystem and thereby increase the price of XRP, pragmatic buyers could not reasonably expect the same. So it sounds like, and I'm not a lawyer, this is, not legal or financial advice by any stretch of the imagination, but in a sense, XRP was originally used to raise funds for Ripple Labs to facilitate these cross-border payments. And so what the court has concluded is that, well, there was never any intention of or for people to make money. Of course, that's what happens. That's the great benefit of buying in at an ICO round. But it can't be expected that that will happen due to the, I suppose, unique nature of how cryptocurrencies power blockchains and support blockchain ecosystems. Ripple was given 80 billion units of the XRP currency of 100 billion limit by the original founding team for the purpose of helping to develop its blockchain, the XRP ledger. So it sounds like Ripple, there was a total token supply of 100 billion XRP coins, and 80 billion units were given to the founding team. I imagine that the other 20 billion was released as part of the ICO round, and obviously as the value of those coins increased in value, then that would mean that the profits that would drive for the other 80 billion units would sustain the efforts of the original founding team in trying to develop out Ripple Labs and the technology of money remittances or remittance payments. This stands in contrast to the more typical pattern of initial coin offerings that are sold from a currency's creators to other investors, although founding teams or decentralized foundations can maintain sizable holdings. So there are no rules really for how you want to run your ICO. There's no rules on tokenomics. It really is up to the judgment of, I suppose, the investors that are deciding to participate in an initial coin offering. The ruling fell short of a complete crypto victory because the judge determined that the $728.9 million worth of XRP sold by the company to institutional investors was an illicit offering, ruling that, based on the totality of circumstances, the court finds that reasonable investors situated in the position of institutional buyers would have purchased XRP with the expectation that they would derive profits from Ripple's efforts. So they're saying retail investors were just not expecting anything. We can't say whether or not retail investors were expecting a profit. We're not going to determine the expectations of that participating party in an initial coin offering. But for institutional buyers who bought up a significant sum of the XRP supply, they expected a return. And so this is a partial win for Ripple Labs and for XRP because they've avoided this labeling as a security as it relates to XRP held by by retail investors, not by institutional buyers who would have expected a profit. The value of all cryptocurrencies jumped almost 6% to $1.3 trillion after this ruling was announced, and XRP surged 76% to 82 cents. I believe I saw a figure to say that XRP has since surged about 98%. It was absolutely crawling along on the ground. And then as you probably would have seen on CoinGecko or any other sort of website, the price has experienced an enormous run up, making it the fourth largest digital asset. So XRP now sits fourth in line, which is pretty insane. The Coinbase exchange's stock The Coinbase exchange's stock price jumped almost 20% as investors saw the ruling as bullish for the company's own fight against the SEC, which has accused it of acting as an unregistered securities market. Now, important context there, the SEC has slapped a lawsuit filing against Coinbase because they say that there's a group of cryptocurrencies that should be considered securities, and Coinbase hasn't registered that they are selling securities. Interestingly, Coinbase did not list. They delisted the XRP cryptocurrency when this lawsuit filing was brought against Ripple Labs and XRP. But perhaps, I don't actually know if they're currently trading it right now on the platform, but I imagine that if they are not, then they will be very soon again. There's a lot of liquidity, I think, a lot of excitement, a lot of keen interest to trade XRP now. Interestingly, the exchange actually drops the trade. Yeah, okay, so it did drop the trading. There you go. However, today's ruling does not necessarily give exchanges the all clear. Stephen Pally, a partner at Brown Rudnick and co-chair of digital commerce practice, told Forbes that there is some important nuance that needs to be taken into account when it comes to looking at the power of this ruling to set precedent for other cases. Now, this is interesting, and I'm keen to know what people think of the following quote in the comments. The court says in a footnote that it is not ruling on whether or not secondary transactions are securities transactions. So secondary transactions being, I have bought the cryptocurrency XRP in the initial coin offering. I'm going to sell it on for a profit. Should that be counted as a securities, for the purpose of exchanging from one hands to another? It said that there is no way for somebody using these platforms, cryptocurrency exchanges, to know that Ripple is on the other side. Therefore, the court concluded that there couldn't have been an expectation of profit based on the efforts of Ripple. So this expectation of profit seems to be a theme of this court case. There was no expectation of profit from retail investors, ostensibly, because again, retail investors can use XRP for a variety of reasons, but there was an expectation of profit from institutional buyers. Pally does wonder if this logic will make it harder for other courts in the future to argue that secondary sales are investment contracts, saying, I don't see how you conclude that a transaction where Ripple was on one side wouldn't be securities transactions, but transactions between two non-Ripple parties would be. Pally said that he would not be surprised if today's rulings are appealed and eventually reach the Supreme Court. This is actually a court case that's been waged in the district court. So the Supreme Court, I believe, is as high as you can go in the legal system to battle it out. So the $200 million that Ripple Labs has already dropped could quadruple, who knows, even before the trial formally commences. Issues still to be worked out would be the type of remedy for the illegal institutional sales, were that ruling to hold. Although the SEC can file only civil charges, the regulator could seek financial penalties such as disengorgement of profit. Other judges, including those handling other SEC actions against cryptocurrency-related companies, are not necessarily bound by today's judgment, according to Pillay. So really interesting to read through this and watch this unfold. I think it's only probably just one part of this legal battle, and whilst it feels like this legal battle has been going on for ages, there could be more to come. To be clear, it's probably good to note that Ripple did not break the law when it created XRP. It was only when XRP was listed on public exchanges like Coinbase that the SEC decided to take legal action. The problem that I have is that not every cryptocurrency is targeted equally. Like I said, Bitcoin and Ethereum are sufficiently decentralized, so they get by unscathed. They're not targeted as securities. But those that are the ones that typically generate the most money, and again, like XRP, are used for a variety of things. So it's really difficult to take that definition of a security and slap it onto these virtual currencies that have much broader use than traditional financial instruments. Let's have a look and check out what CoinDesk has had to say about it. In the wake, I'm just going to move myself back here and make myself a little bit bigger. XRP short traders log highest losses in 2023 after landmark court ruling. I just wanted to visit the aftermath of all of this, because obviously there are winners and losers in every situation. You're obviously winning if you held XRP and you profited 76 to 98% on your original investment maybe, or if you were betting against the price of Ripple, then you would have lost a lot of money potentially, depending on how much money you had invested to short the price of XRP or bet against the price of XRP. So if you're betting against the price of XRP, it just means that you probably would have thought that Ripple was going to be unsuccessful in its legal battle with the SEC. A landmark court ruling drove XRP prices to nearly double over the past 24 hours before receding in early Asian hours on Friday, with XRP shorts losing the most money so far this year. Data from CoinGlass shows XRP tracked futures traders racked up a total of $58 million. 58. If you shorted the price of XRP cryptocurrency, you were among the $58 million that was lost as the US judge ruled the sale of XRP tokens on exchanges did not constitute investment contracts. Of that, shorts or bets against the price rises lost $33 million, while longs constituted the remaining. Okay, sorry. So it wasn't $58 million lost, it was $33 million lost, while longs constituted the remaining. So people who longed XRP would have made up for, about $30 million. So the price of XRP basically has increased profits by $30 million. Traders at crypto exchange Bybit saw the most liquidations at $21 million. So people sold at around $21 million, followed by OKX at $14 million and Binance at $14 million. So there you go. I think that this case is still going to unfold. I think that Ripple still has a lot ahead in terms of its run-ins with the SEC. And overwhelmingly, though, I think it is a good thing for the crypto space. I think that the SEC hopefully will realize that it is just very difficult to try and regulate something that doesn't neatly fit their definition of a security. And it's going to hopefully force regulators' hands when it comes to creating those new boundaries and regulations. Now, I don't think regulation is bad. I think regulation can be good and it can be necessary, but it has to be the right regulation. So I would love to know what you think. Please like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to the channel for more content, and comment. I want to know what you think about this, because I am not personally invested in XRP. There was, when I first got into cryptocurrency, there was a lot of noise around XRP. I decided to leave it alone and focus on other cryptocurrency assets. But if you are a long-term hodler of XRP, then I'm happy for you at the very least. And I'm, really keen to know your thoughts. I want to know if you sold out of fear. Let me know. I want to know if you decided to hold and why you decided to hold, but I will leave it there, and I'm sure this won't be the last time I'm on here talking about XRP. Bye for now, guys.